Bonjour people and welcome to another Transformers review on the channel. This time we are looking at Studio Series Dino, aka Mirage. Why is he not actually called Mirage? Well, there's a few reasons behind it. Not least because Mattel have the license for Ferrari, but also I believe that Ferrari asked him to be called Dino after Alfredo Dino Ferrari, I think. I don't know, but licensing issues is the reason why he was called Dino in the film rather than Mirage. So here we have him in his not Ferrari sports car mode, but it's a close approximation to it. There are some loving references to the Ferrari here and there. You can see that the headlights are shaped in a similar fashion, but obviously this is not moulded the same to how a Ferrari 458 Italia actually should be. But quick 360 of the car. Here is a nice red sleek vehicle. Unfortunately though, my biggest gripe with this alt mode is loads of panel lines everywhere, and this is just due to the transformation sequence, but it doesn't make for the nicest looking vehicle mode, unfortunately. And it's a shame because the type of car that it's trying to emulate is a beautiful vehicle. But moving that aside, though, he has exceptional detail as per most of the Studio series. You won't be, or you can maybe say, you can maybe see here, but there are mouldings in the grille section. Nice little touch. There's no like interior moulding, but you've got windscreen wipers here. The tyres are nicely moulded as well. You've got a load of robot junk on the bottom side there, but hey. Lights moulded in and everything. You've got your rear engine moulded in there. No symbols, obviously, because licensing, but what are you going to do? So that's Dino's vehicle mode. Really nice. We're getting down to transformation, hopefully. This is going to be a little bit messy, I think, just because trying to tab this back section into car mode, so going from robot to vehicle, it's a little bit of a pain. But thankfully for the purposes of this review, we are doing it the other way. Now I've just got to try and think where to start. I think the first thing really is just untab the bottoms of his feet from the side. And then you've got to try and bring that down and out. And then you can kind of create the illusion of a car with its doors open, if you like. It's the same thing on the other side. You just want to be, it's difficult, untabbing it and bringing it down slightly, and then you can open the doors. Come to the bottom of the doors and just fold in the bases of the doors and just fold them in. Right, next you want to come to the back, I think, just unclip those annoying panels and bring them out. And that just made me frightened there that I maybe broke the tab, but thankfully not. I haven't transformed this guy a lot, you can tell. He's a new figure for me, part of the birthday haul. Thank you, Bradley. Right, bring the legs out and just flip them all the way back, just so they are out of the way. Next, yeah, that's a question. Let's come to the front and let's maneuver the sides of the bonnet out. Just pull them out. They're going to become the top of the arms. Don't fold that in yet. Let's see. Okay, that will rotate around. Bring the doors down a little bit. Let's come to the underside and actually see what we're doing here. Yes, bring them out just like that to give some clearance, because you're going to end up rotating all of this round like that. So now that's upside down basically. Then let's see. We're going to just pull this out. Let's just get in focus. And then we're going to take these black blades out. They will stick on his arms later, and just put them off to the side. We're going to just bring his head up now, because why not? Let's focus on the legs. Flip the feet like that, rotate them at the knees, and then you can push these side bits in to fully realise the legs. You want to be rotating that back bumper and folding it up from memory. Oh yes. And then you can collapse the roof down in on itself. Eventually that will tab into those slots on the back. So you do want to be collapsing this in on itself, folding this up, and you're just funneling it in into a little parcel basically that he will tab into. It's quite messy, not gonna lie. It's very messy. And how did I get that door? That is just getting stuck on there, and I can't figure out how I got that. There we go. We got clearance. Just don't make Transformers that simple, especially for the adult lines. There we go. Now everything's falling into place. So you're folding everything behind the faux chest. And then rotate the arms like that. So this is on the front. And rotate the wrist. My mistake was I was trying to get that onto the side, but it's actually the front. And then the front should tab in. And now all that's in there. Oh, with a hideous snap, you can push that rear bumper and tab it into place. Get Dino standing properly, get his shoulders into place. Return to the arms and just tab the arm blades in where we should go on the underside. Straighten everything out. And there, ladies and gentlemen, after a little bit of a struggle, you have Dino / Mirage in his robot mode. And despite him having a fake chest, he looks really, really nice. And he's so movie accurate. His design is just one of those things where it's really difficult to try and make it into a convincing action figure. Because when you study the transformation, there is no real possible way that you can get the front of the car to merge into that shape. Now, granted, third-party companies have managed to create their own versions of Dino. And, you know, they've done pretty good approximations. But they've all just not, to me, looked quite right. They've not quite emulated the character model from Dark of the Moon. And I think, honestly, this is the closest version that we have gotten so far. Maybe the closest version we're going to get. Because of all the engineering in the world that Hasbro is capable of, you just can't make that chest properly. And you can see the actual fronts of the cars are here. But that aside, profile-wise, he replicates his movie design brilliantly. But the downside is all of the car basically is smushed on the inside of his torso there. That does result in him sort of having a backpack. It's not hideous, to be honest. He obviously has the door wings, but that's just part of the design, so they're meant to be there. But it is nicely compacted, despite it being very obvious and a side profile not actually looking that nice on him. But with his arm down and just looking at him like that, he looks good. And I've always liked the design of Dino. Now we're going to try and focus in on his head. This isn't going to work, is it? This rubbish camera just will not focus on his noggin. But it's a faithful recreation of his head sculpt from the film. Unfortunately, he has no light piping, but hey, it's almost a product of a bygone era at this point, light piping. Just get back into focus. Detail-wise, stunning. Grey plastic on the torso here with notches cut out. Very nice. The arm blades do have some detailing of them. You can kind of see from the reflective light here that it's all along the sides. And yeah, leg detailing also quite nice. The dark grey plastic running all the way down his shins onto his feet, which are sculpted beautifully. Dino can look left, he can look right, he can look up a little bit, but not too much. And unfortunately, it's because these collar pieces do really hinder his articulation, which is a bit of a shame. His arms can do, if the door wasn't quite there, oh, they can't quite do a 360. But they are on ball joints though. Oh, we can do a 360 that way. I lie. You have a bicep swivel, which you can go 180 that way. I mean, he can't the other way because of that arm piece. He can. He's got a double bend at the elbow, and then he does have 360 at the wrist as well. Nothing at the waist. In terms of the hips, he can kick out that far. He can kick back, surprisingly, an extreme angle. That's really good. He, in terms of doing the splits, he can do that. Decent bend at the knee. And then here's a bit of foot pivot for transformation, really, but it is there. So in theory, you could do some dynamic poses with him. So let's put Dino back to the side for a second, get him in focus, and we'll do a size comparison. And first of all, we're going to bring back in Revenge of the Fallen sideways, and the reason why I am comparing this guy is that the last version of Mirage that came out was an Age of Extinction release, and because the perfect figure for this guy didn't quite exist, what they did was they re-released Sideways, repainted him in his colours, and gave him his head, basically. And Sideways here represents the only other version, official version of this guy that we had actually had before. And you can see there is a massive difference. This is a modern deluxe, this is a 2009 deluxe, and look at the difference in size. He is heads above him. It's a bit tragic, really, to see how small deluxe class figures have become, but then again, you also have to remember that the Studio series is designed in a way that the characters are meant to resemble the sizes that they are to one another in the films. So apparently, Dino is a really small Autobot. Getting Sideways off to the side, we'll do one last one. We're going to bring Shockwave back in, comparing a Voyager to a modern deluxe. Yeah, again, Shockwave is heads above modern deluxe. You can see here an old style deluxe next to a Voyager, just to get an idea as to what the scale was like back in the day. So there we go. That is Studio Series Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Dino / Mirage. I do like him. Like, despite the complicated transformation sequence and all of the car basically being stuffed into his underside, he looks nice. He really does look nice. The robot mode is certainly a better sight to behold than the vehicle mode, which unfortunately, number one, it's not a Ferrari, but that's not the big deal. The big thing is all the panel lines on the car mode. It just doesn't make it look that attractive, but the robot mode, thankfully, stunning, especially from the front. The front is the best angle for it. It loses some of the magic from the side, but let's be honest, you're not going to display him from the side, are you? You're going to display him from the front. So there is Dino for you. Thank you everybody so much for stopping by and checking out this review. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video around to help out the channel. And until the next time, I shall see you all much later.